Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I'm at again A to Z Auto Masters. Today we got this 2008 Chevy Malibu with a 2.4 liter. The car came in with a check engine light. We have a bunch of codes, so we'll see what we're gonna have to do with this car. And as always, don't forget, if you learn anything from my videos, if my videos were helpful, just make sure you hit that thumbs up button and let us know in the comments below how did the job go. And don't forget to subscribe. Okay guys, so we got the scanner, the computer plugged in. That's the Varus Edge. It's the Snap made by Snap-on. You really don't need something fancy, something like that. Any code reader will just pull up the codes. So we have a bunch of codes here. We have the auto sensor, bank 1 sensor 1. Okay, we have auto sensor, bank 1 sensor 2. We have a mass airflow meter, and again repeat, bank 1, sensor 2, and we have a new code here, the evaporative emission per solenoid control circuit. So we got really multiple codes in here. Evap codes for the per solenoid, auto sensor, both of them, upstream and downstream, mass airflow meter code. So we're really gonna have to look into this and see what's going on. It can't, unless this car been neglected for years, I don't think we're gonna have two bad auto sensors, a bad mass airflow meter, and a bad evaporative emission per solenoid. So now we have to do some homework on this. Okay guys, so I printed the wiring schematic for this car, and if we look here, I highlighted everything that we have an issue with. So if you look here, we're gonna have auto sensor right there, auto sensor, sensor 1, auto sensor number 2. We have right there the evaporative emission per solenoid right here, and we have the mass airflow meter here. And if we trace these wires, it has to be some common denominator between all these, something common that makes all these equipments fail at the same time. I reset the check engine light and I took the car for a ride, and within a couple minutes the light came back on. So if you look here, we have this pink and black wire. It goes straight up here to the fuse box, to that. Same thing here, we have pink and black for auto sensor that powers up the auto sensor. It goes straight up. And we have the other pink and black for the other auto sensor right there. Also goes straight up. And we have the mass airflow meter here, okay, with another pink and black power, goes straight up here. So basically all four equipments that's failing, they're going right here and basically being fed with just one fuse, okay, which is right there, emission 1, fuse number 6, 10 amp fuse. All these equipment are being fed with that. So we're gonna take a look at this fuse and see what's going on with it, since that's the only common denominator between all these equipments. Okay, so we're under the hood here now. Just gonna take this cover off. That's for the battery and the fuse box. Fuse box is right here. I'm gonna use my power probe here. You can use a test light, whatever you're comfortable with to use. I'm gonna turn the ignition on. And we're gonna look for power on that fuse. According to the diagram here, it's emission 1, fuse number 6, 10 amp. Okay, we're gonna look on the cover here. That's front. Basically number 6 fuse is right here, right behind this relay. So, okay, so the fuse here, behind this relay. So, we're gonna check for power. Good. Okay, so we have power on one side and we got ground on the other side. So this fuse is no good. Okay, we got a blown fuse. Fuses just don't blow for no reason. There is something has to be going on here to blow this fuse. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put a new fuse, take it for a test drive, drive it around a little bit and see if we have another issue. if the fuse blows again or it just runs fine, and we'll figure out, we'll take it from there. Okay guys, so I put a new fuse, took the car for a test drive. It was driving fine. It took probably 7-8 minutes of driving, and all of a sudden the car shuts off on me and won't start. Tried to crank it a few times, just starts and then it dies, starts and then it dies, and all of a sudden it starts again. So I came back and I checked the fuse, and again we have another blown fuse here. So we got some electrical issue, some short somewhere here, and that's what we're gonna do right now. See what's going on with it. Okay, guys. So there's a couple options here that we can do. Number one, we can use process of elimination. We can disconnect every component separate and take the car for a test drive till the fuse doesn't blow, and basically that's the failing component. I already test this per solenoid. I used my power probe and I give it the power and the ground, and it was functioning perfectly fine, no problem. So per solenoid is basically out of the question. I'm suspecting really the auto sensors. I had this issue before on a van, Ford Econoline 250, and it had a lot of problems, fuses blowing and stuff like that, and it was all because of auto sensors, bad auto sensor shorting the system. So I'm just gonna take this cover off. It's size 8, and there's a clamp down here. You can see through that hole. I'm gonna take this out. Okay, so basically I'm gonna change both auto sensors. They look original, they look like they've never been changed. And again, I tested that per solenoid right here, and it was perfectly functioning fine with the power probe. So I really have never seen, up to this day, I have never seen a mass airflow meter goes bad to a point that it blows a fuse. I've seen this with auto sensors. That's why I'm going with the auto sensors. If you don't want to change the auto sensors, again, you can use the process of elimination. You're gonna get 4 fuses, put a new one, disconnect one of the auto sensors, take it for a ride. If the fuse blows, it's not gonna be that auto sensor. Plug it back in and unplug the next one, and so on. Okay, I just unplugged this auto sensor, and I think I might find the problem. Okay guys, I think I might find a problem here. Don't mind this cracked manifold, and somebody already have some muffler putty on it. It's not our issue right now. But here, I see this insulation is torn, and it was rubbing on the exhaust manifold down there. And I can see this, it rubbed already right through. And this black wire is already right here. The black wire was already rubbing on the manifold. So that could be a problem. That definitely can be a problem. So what I'm gonna do, before I change the auto sensors, this auto sensor should be changed anyway with the problem on the harness. So you know what, I'm just gonna put a new auto sensor here. This is no good. Okay, so I'm just gonna get an auto sensor socket like that and just take this auto sensor out. I'm gonna give it a close inspection out here. Wow. Okay. So that's how this auto sensor looked. It's absolutely never seen anything like this before. absolutely shot. Plus, go back to this harness. Let me cut this open. So as you guys can see right there, this wire already rubbed through. And this wire and that wire also rubbed through. So we have two wires here that's damaged from rubbing on the manifold. Gonna change that auto sensor, put a new fuse and try it again. Okay, moment of truth. Change that fuse, put the cover back and take it for a test drive.